Live Radio.
Go Live Radio.
Go Live Radio.
Hi, welcome back to the Lighthouse Podcast. If you guys are not familiar with me, my name is Paula. I am one of the hosts. And right here on the side,
my name is Kelly. I'm also one of the hosts. We're happy to be here.
All right. So if you guys were here about 2 weeks ago, we were talking about family. And it was a real deep conversation, right, Kelly?
Yeah, very.
So for today, we're going to continue that topic, but we're going to focus on friendships. Because I believe that is also, friends play a really big role in our lives, you know? And we're going to speak a little bit of, we're gonna share a few verses, a little story, and then our personal experiences. So we're gonna start off with a nice verse Kelly found.
Yeah, so we're gonna go into Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. So it's a bit long, so I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to find it. It talks about friendship and it talks about being there for each other. So Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. For people that speak Spanish, Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. Okay? So I'm going to read it. It says, two people, this is verse 9, two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. Verse 10, if one person falls, the other can reach out and help, but someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Verse 11, likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can one be warm alone? Verse 12. A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. So, why did I want to read that verse? And why do we want to start off with that? Because I feel like it kind of represents what friendship is about. Like, at least for me, I feel like friendship, like it says here, two are better off than one. How can someone stand alone and be attacked? Like, if I'm standing alone and people are attacking me from everywhere, then I can only attack the ones that are in front of me. But the ones behind me, I can't do anything. My back is just open for them to come behind me and go, you know? But when there's two people, you have each other's back. You're guarding each other. You're protecting each other. And that's what I think friendship is. It's like, yes, to be there for each other through everything, but also to protect each other. And to be there to, like, when someone's trying to come at Paula and be like, oh, she's this, that, I'll stand up and be like, no. Maybe she made something, she made a mistake, but my job is to try and protect her according to what the Bible says. At least this is what I take from it. I don't know about you, Paula.
So for me, the way I kind of like take this nice verse is first that we weren't meant to do this alone, as in like you just live your life alone. Yeah. We work, you live alone. You don't talk to people because people are weird or because people have hurt you, you know. I feel like God created us as a family, as in like we're supposed to actually be there for each other. And like he knew that we were going to disappoint each other, that we were going to hurt each other, that we were going to let each other down, probably cause who knows what in each other's life. But what is God? God is forgiveness. God is love. God is patience. So, you know, as a Christian, you would kind of apply that to friendships as well, because just how relationships are not perfect with friends, family, partners, it's the same thing with friends, you know, like we are all little humans going through our daily life, hurting each other. But, you know, the point is to grow and be there for each other, you know, like it's not always going to be rainbows and butterflies. There's going to be times where my friend might, you know, go through something harsh. She might like not talk to me as much. I might take that the wrong way and distance myself because she stopped talking to me. But that's not the point of a friendship, you know. You don't give to take back, or you don't take to give, if that makes sense. But you know the point, you know the way it goes. You know, like if your friend is going through something, your job or the way I would like to be treated is like you reach out, even if I'm weird, even if I'm more distant, you know, like, oh, that's weird. Paula's not talking to me, or she's off. You know, having that person's back in all situations, even when you are taking things personally, because sometimes I feel like we take a lot of things personally, you know?
Yeah.
Like the way other people behave or comment on things, we're like, oh, like that was about me, or like, oh, she doesn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's really not.
It's not that serious. It's not that deep. Yeah. And I feel like what I take from that Bible verse is like what Paula said. Like, we're not meant to just be here alone. Like, God didn't make Adam and then make Eve for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, let's think about it as not like a relationship way, but let's think about it in like a friendship, companionship way. Like, he made Adam, and Adam was there, but God was like, no, you know what? He needs someone else. And then he made Eve. Yes, that has to do with like relationships and like marriage and all that.
But it also had to do with company.
Company, exactly. Yeah. And like, if you think about it too, like Noah's Ark, God sent for Noah to look for a male and female of like the species, right? Obviously, so they could reproduce and stuff, but also companionship. Like, how is a little doggy gonna be okay by itself? Like, it needs another doggy to be with. An example, right? So like, I feel like that makes so much sense. Friendship is about doing life together. It's about having people to share life with,
relate to, and just be there for each other, you know, through the good and the bad, because life in general isn't always going to be good.
No.
So, you know, once you have a different perspective, you won't take things so personally, and you will actually be there more for your friends, and you'll be able to forgive and understand your friends. Because if you lack forgiveness, patience, and love, a friendship is going to be really difficult to maintain. It's going to feel like a job instead of something like effortless, you know?
And it's crazy because last week we had a youth night in our church, and we were talking about fruits of the Spirit. And I was talking about, I had to give the word for that day. So I know this is like imprinted in my head. So it was like, we were talking about how we can't have one if we don't have the other. Like, I can't have joy, patience, goodness, all this stuff if I don't have love. I can't have self-control and if I don't have joy, or I can't have joy if I don't have self-control. All these things go together. So it's like, I can't have a friendship where I'm loved by my friend if I don't give love to that person back, you know? Like, it has to be a relationship that we reciprocate. I can't say, oh, Paula, I need you to do this, this, and this for me, and then she goes and does it, but then when she says, Kelly, I need you to do this, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't, I'm busy. You know what I mean? If she goes out of her way to help me in a situation, I have to do the same, because that's what a friendship is. Friendship is two people together. Right? It's not just on one end, and it's not on my end, you know? It's all like intertwining. We're there to support each other. And that's what I liked about this Bible verse, because it says, if one person falls, the other can reach out and help. And it's like, that's what friendship is. I mean, if I'm doing bad, the other person comes and helps me out, offers a hand for me to get up in whatever situation I'm in, and vice versa, right? Yeah,
I agree too. I agree, because a lot of times, like I said, we take things personally. So like, let's say Kelly, I haven't heard of Kelly for a week, right? And I'm like, oh, Kelly hasn't spoken to me. She probably just doesn't want to talk to me. I probably did something. That's immaturity. That is very selfish as well. That is very self-centered, very lack of self-awareness. It's the truth, you know? And I'm telling you this because I did go through some experience where I wasn't very self-aware. I was very selfish. I was very like, my emotions, me, you know? And it wasn't done on purpose. Like, I never wanted to hurt people, mainly people I loved. Why would I want to do that? But I did it because I wasn't as self-aware as I needed to be in a friendship or in general. So like Kelly said, like, you know, if someone's down, you want to be there for them. And I'm pretty sure that person wants you to be there for them. Even if, you know, they don't want to talk to you, even if they're like more distant and dry, you know, pass by their house with a cup of Timmy and like Tim Hortons drink or Timbits, you know, like those little things really do impact people's life. And it gives you like, what's that word? It gives you like, it restores your strength. Like, it gives you more like, oh, you know, like a moment of fresh air. You just get to like enjoy that moment with your friend. Or a text, you know, sometimes you don't have the time to pass by a text, so like, oh, I hope you're doing well. You can hit me up whenever you need, and constantly be there for that person, you know. Even if they don't hit you up, you can still hit them up again. And I know it might be like annoying or whatsoever, but unless they tell you, please give me my space, you can always, you know, constantly hit them up.
Yeah. And I feel like if we think about it now as Christians, like let's think about like God or Jesus, because right now we're talking about our experiences and how we interpret this. But like if we think about Jesus, he was the ultimate friend. Like if you think about it, he was there, he would listen to everyone's problems, he would listen to everybody, he would offer the perfect advice because he's Jesus, right? And then like I think there's a Bible verse where he calls us his friend, or he calls him our friend. Like he calls himself our friend, that he is our friend. And then there's a Bible verse that says, where is it? I think it's John 15:13. It says, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. I'm not gonna be like, okay, you guys have to go lay your life for all your friends. No, but what I'm saying is Jesus did that. So it's kind of showing like Jesus is our friend. He has the ultimate act of friendship and love, that he laid his own life for us. Like he loves us so much that he did that to save us, to heal everything. And then I think about it like in my way. I'm a friend, right? But obviously maybe I can't have the stomach to be like, okay, take my life for my friends, but I have to be able or willing to put myself out there for my friends, to be there for them in every single situation. Maybe not like if someone's coming and be like, you or him or whatever, but I have to have the depths of love for that person, that I will try my best and fight to push them forward and to help them get up and to help myself get up too, but put them first in a way. That's how I take it. Like showing true friendship is when you put somebody before your own needs, I guess you would say, because sometimes our needs are selfish, like Paula said. Sometimes we're selfish, and I can be like, oh, she didn't talk to me today, so I'm gonna ignore her. Like, you know,
on
like,
Sunday, I'm not talking to her.
I'm gonna walk past her when she tries to hug me. No, that's selfish. That's not being Christ-like. That's not being the type of friend that we should be. Like, if someone hurts your feelings, then go to them and be like, hey, this happened, and I didn't really like how you acted with me, but I want to know that if you're going through something and maybe that's what's going on here, I'm still here for you. You know, a true friend. I mean, I'm going to give my example. I grew up as a pastor's kid, right? So it's kind of hard to have besties when you're a pastor's kid, because you trust people, but then if you open up, then sometimes people are like, oh, you're supposed to be holy, or you're supposed to be the example for us. You know what I mean? So then it kind of made me not want to open up to people. And there were people that I did open up to that ended up kind of, I'm not going to say that word because it wasn't backstabbing, but it was like ended up betraying my trust. Betraying my trust, right? Like they ended up not being the friends that I expected them to be, and like supporting me because I opened up, you know? Oh, I feel like this, I feel like that. And instead of helping me, they kind of just went and said things to other people. And that wasn't helpful at all. Yeah. That was not a friend thing, right? And then when I think about it now, it's like I need to be a friend to those people, even if they weren't to me. You know, that's how I think about this message about sacrifice your own life for your friends and whatever. I take it like whether they hurt me or not, I'm still going to be there for them. Whether they did something to you and they hurt your heart and your feelings and everything, you're still going to be a friend, and ignore that and forgive. I know there's other Bible verses that talk about friendship and forgiveness, and that's a huge thing. Like if Paul and I have a good friendship, it's because we know when to be there for each other and also when to forgive each other, because we're never going to be perfect. There's never going to be moments where I'm perfect and I'm so nice to her, and there's going to be moments where she's not going to be that nice to me either, and we might end up having a situation or whatever, but at the end of it all, we have to learn to forgive. And that's what I take from it. I feel like whether or not someone hurts you or whatever, I'm not telling you to go back and be besties with them. But what I'm saying is to forgive. Yeah. Forgiveness is a huge thing. And I feel like that helped me because there were people that hurt me, but now I forgave them and I've moved on and I have friendships with them, even though at one point I never imagined myself being friends with them, you know? And that's like a God type of relationship. That's what I would say.
No, I agree. Going back to like the Jesus topic. Yeah. Honestly, if you're ever confused about what is friendship meant to be, how should I behave? Honestly, go back to Jesus. Because Jesus is honestly a great example of many things, but friendship is like a big one. Because to me, Jesus first, like Kelly mentioned, he was friends with everyone. He would give the best advice. But Jesus was also so loving, so obviously perfect, but he saw everyone the same. I don't know if I have the verse here. Let me see if I can quickly look for it. But there was a verse where someone went up to Jesus and they're like, Jesus, your mom is looking for you, or she wants to talk to you. And he's like, my mom? Ooh, my mom. Everyone's my mom, my sister, my brothers. As in, like, he didn't make a difference. He didn't, like, drop everything. My mom, she's more important than Juanita and Juan. No. Like, he sees everyone the same. So, in a way, that's how I would love to obviously be treated and to treat others equal in a way where, like, you're not more or less than my sister or my mom. Obviously, that's so hard. But that is a goal to achieve at some point in life, because it should be like that. Love is equal. Love shouldn't be like, oh, I love Juanita more because me presta el carro. She lends me the car sometimes. Yeah. Or I like Carlos because Carlos actually gives me money on Fridays or whatever. Like, it shouldn't be like that. You know, it should always be equal. As in, like Kelly said, even if someone does hurt you, I don't think you should, you know, you don't have to be best friends with them again. But you should forgive and let go. Because Jesus is like that, right? He didn't stop being friends with the people that hurt him. He knew he was going to be betrayed, and wasn't he still friends with the guy? Yeah, like, with Judas. That's what I'm saying. Jesus is a great example of friendship, because he was hurt, he was disrespected, he was like, it was horrible, but he was still able to remain true to himself. Yeah. You know, true to himself. Yeah. He didn't change. Nothing changed him. And like, that's hard to do, but it's not impossible. It's so possible with Jesus and God on our side, because the more you seek of God, the more like he like literally pours all his gifts on you. Like, you're able to be more loving. You're like, wow, I wasn't this loving back then. Yeah. But it's God, it's not you. You know, oh, I wasn't this forgiving back then. Well, because it's not you, honey, it's God. Like, he is doing all of this because you're asking for it and you're seeking it and you're opening your heart to it. For me, in my experience, I was very well, I still am very emotional, but I just don't act all my emotions. I don't react with, I respond more. Doesn't mean I won't react, you know, I'm not perfect. But I'm able to notice my emotions, and I'm able to not react. I'm able to respond. So if Kelly comes to me and she forgot to give me a cupcake, I won't be like, you forgot a cupcake, like, you didn't give me one. That's reaction. That's a whole reaction on what I'm feeling. A response is pulling her to the side and be like, Kelly, oh, you forgot to give me a cupcake. Could I get one if there's still some? Or, oh, Kelly, how, like, you know, that's a response. That's like, I felt something, I noticed it, and I'm just going to communicate it with her in a response way, not reaction. Because reactions cause drama, it causes unnecessary traumas. Like, it just hurts people sometimes.
And it causes, like, miscommunication and, like, confusion. Because, let's say, going back to the cupcake thing, let's say you don't communicate your feelings. Then next Sunday I bring cupcakes again, and then you're just like, I'm not even gonna get one now. Or like, I give you one and you're like, no, you know, then it's just, oh, what did I do? And then she's like, oh, she doesn't even care that she hurt. So it just causes stuff that we don't need to have, you know. And I think that's why, like, our points in friendship, they're so important. Like, we need to love each other, like Paula said, like, be loving like Jesus was, you know. And also forgive the way that Jesus forgave Judas, and he forgave us for all of the things we do and everything that we do against him. And then another thing is to support each other, like the Bible verse says in Ecclesiastes, to pick each other up when one of us has fallen down, to be there, to be present when maybe we feel alone. Because, like, I know sometimes there's moments in life where we feel alone, or like we're going through something and no one can understand. But that's when we need friendships. That's when we need the people that are around us to make themselves present. It's like if I'm sick and I'm going through a sickness, I need my friends to be present and be like, Kelly, do you need soup? I'll bring you a soup, you know, or do you need this? Do you need that? Maybe I don't need it, but it makes me feel loved to know that people care if I'm okay or not, you know? And it's the same for other situations. And I feel like that's a huge thing, to be present for each other.
Yeah. And communicating it. Because if you don't tell me you're sick and you're just laying in bed for like a week, you can't be mad on Monday when I see you because I didn't bring you soup. Like, you know, you have to be reasonable. You need to really grow and just be self-aware. That's what I tell myself and many people. As my friends, my sister, like, just try to be self-aware, because sometimes we do things without really noticing them. Like, I didn't pick up the cup, or I didn't open the door for the lady behind me, or I said something rude to my friend or my sister or my parent, you know, and I just didn't really notice it. You know, being self-aware is when you sit down, you view the patterns in your life, the way you act, the way you respond. And sometimes it's ugly. You don't want to really go that deep, right? Because it's like, ooh, I did that. Girl, when I tell you, when I found out I was not the best friend, you know, and I was like, who was I? I did not like that. I did not like the truth of that. I didn't. But it was necessary, because then I was able to grow. I was able to better my reactions, my response. I was able to just be a better friend. I might not be the bestest at the moment, but I know I'm not giving up. I'm still trying. I'm still willing to grow. I'm still willing to hear you and like take your advice. I'm still willing to, oh, Paula, you know, you didn't really like da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I'll try to do better next time. You know, be open to that, because we're humans. We're bound to like hurt each other. You know, it's always going to be like that. Family, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends. It's bound to happen. We're not perfect, but it's about being understanding and forgiving with one another, right? You know, you don't have to be a fool, because you don't want to be a fool either. Even the Lord says don't be a fool. Yeah. But be understanding and forgiving. And if you see something, a relationship, a friendship is not, you know, the best friendship, it's a little toxic, it's a little too much, give some space, give some time. Sometimes people stop being friends for a while and they become friends again. That's literally what happened with me too.
That's what happened with me too. It's just, I think being true friends, being biblical friends, is also part of maturing. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of times, like, when you don't really understand the Bible properly, or you don't really seek God that much, you can't be a good friend. If you don't seek God, you can't be a good friend. Like, based on what, a good human, a good person. Yeah. Exactly. So I feel like it's part of maturing, like realizing that you need to sit down and analyze yourself. That's part of maturing, I think, too. Like, Paula and I, we grew up together, but there was a moment where we didn't talk, and it wasn't because we hated each other or anything. We just didn't. Like, we were just in our own thing,
own lives, own thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and now we're, I guess we could say, more mature, that we know how to handle our own thing.
We're way more mature than before.
Yeah. We know how to handle our own thing and also handle a friendship, you know? Like, I don't need to be on Paula, be like 24/7, hi, how are you? What are you doing? Because I feel like in high school sometimes we're like best friends, have to be texting all the time, have to be together all the time. Yeah. That's not how friendship works. That's being too clingy. That's being like desperate at one point. Like, I think we need to learn how to handle time, you know? I can't be forcing her to hang out with me every single day, and I can't be, you know, getting sad if she's out with her other friend. You know, that's just not being mature. So I feel like being a good friend is also being mature in that area.
You have to just be willing to grow, you know, and willing to notice other people and the way they are. You know, like, if my friend is someone who doesn't like to be spoken to every day, I can't be mad at that. Yeah. If I'm a needy person, because I am, depends. I want to be spoken to every day. I want to go out to Starbucks every Saturday. That's me, but I can't force that on another person. If another friend likes to talk every day, but I don't, my friend, as a good friend, needs to learn how to respect that and, you know, find a balance. We find a way to, like, communicate, meet each other's needs and communicate. But that doesn't mean I have an expectation and she has to meet that expectation, or I have to meet her expectations. As friends, we all have different flaws and different things that, you know, we might not love that much, but we love each other. So that is the love we have for each other overcomes the flaws that we each have. And I did want to mention a quick little verse before we finish here. Proverbs 17:17. A friend always... Actually, was it this one? Let me see. No, it was not that one. Sorry, guys. That was a good one, too, though. Search it up.
You guys should search it up. Write it down.
It's Proverbs 13:20. Be careful who you are allowing to influence your life and who you are and who you're becoming.
Yeah.
That is very important because sometimes we have friends that are not the best, and they do, cause a little bit of distraction, harm into our lives. And we need to be, once again, mature and self-aware, because if we don't notice those things, we're going to be doing the same things a lot of people are doing, or getting confused. Maybe you're not doing the same things, but you start questioning, well, Juanita does this and that, and she says it's not that bad, or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I, and it's real life. It's fine. It's a normal thing to think or whatever, but you need to be self-aware to catch it and not actually fall into it. And maybe sometimes even distance yourself away a little bit from that friendship if it doesn't bring goodness, because it's always important, yes, to be there for each other in the good and the bad, but to grow together. The main goal is to grow together and seek the Lord even more and more together.
And if someone stops you from seeking the Lord and stops you from growing in Christ, then you know that that's not a godly thing.
Still be friends, because Jesus was still friends
Pray
with everyone.
for them, but help them.
Maybe not go out with them when, they're doing certain things, or maybe don't go out with them if they're very negative and they bring you down. You need to be self-aware and be willing to grow. And ask the Lord, and I promise you, He will literally give you everything you need. He will satisfy everything you need. He will literally do it all. Like
we said, He's the ultimate friend. There's no one that compares,
You ask Him ask Him, can you help me with forgiveness? He will literally help you. Can you help me with maturing and growth? And He will help you. But get ready. It might get ugly, and you got to be prepared to handle it. You can't be scared. Life is scary sometimes, and looking at ourselves is a little scary sometimes, but it's necessary in order to grow and become the best version of yourself.
This girl, that sounded like an ad campaign. No, but it's true. God is the one that helps us through everything. And if we're seeking, okay, God, maybe I haven't been that good of a friend the past few months or whatever, then you ask Him to help you in the areas that are your weak spots. Yeah. And if you don't know what your weakness is, then ask Him, God, I need you to reveal this to me so that I can fix it, so I can work towards it. And like Paula said, sometimes it's not pretty. Sometimes it's not something we want to see because it's so dark or whatever it is. But I know, and I think she knows, we both know that when you really ask God, okay, God, help me. I want to be a good friend. I want to be what you tell me to be. Have people's backs. I want to stand strong in Christ with my friends. I want to seek you with my friends. I want to have godly relationships. I want to center you in everything and support people and be forgiving and loving and all these things that we've mentioned. To do that, you need to seek God, right? And you need to put Him in your number one spot, so that when you look at Him and you seek Him, He helps you become a better version of yourself.
And He makes everything easier. I promise. Sometimes when you do it on your own, you're literally battling yourself, others, the world. But when you do it, God, it's so much easier to just go through it.
It's not just you against the world. It's us against the world. That's literally how it is when you're with God.
Seek Him, ask Him to help you, and slowly you will see the growth. Slowly you will see how much you've changed, and be patient and loving with your own self as well. You've hurt others, but that's life.
And
don't be hard for yourself,
too.
Harsh on yourself. Ask for forgiveness, and it happens. But we do have to go because it's time. Hopefully you guys come back in 2 weeks. I believe that will be June. Let's see. June 23rd. 23rd.
Yes, 23rd.
So Friday, 2 o'clock, sorry. And don't forget to follow us on, the Lighthouse Podcast.
Wait, on Instagram, I think it's at the lighthouse.pod. I think.
And Facebook
is the Lighthouse Podcast.
The Lighthouse Podcast. Yeah. All right, guys. Take care.
Thank you guys for being with us. Thank you so much. And we're happy that you listened. And we're happy you guys are learning to be better friends.
And share the live. Even if people weren't able to connect, it's still on the Facebook. So you guys are still able to rewatch it and share with friends. Maybe if you have a friend who needs a little, send the video.
So God bless you guys.
Bye.
We love y'all.
Live Radio.